that's his name, Amastine. Well, that's what I'm going to refer to him as, because I was, right context, I was just watching his video of AMAS PFT. Tyler follows him, and yeah, I was just watching his recent video of going over his trade and stuff, and yeah, it's pretty interesting actually. His like one-to-one risk to reward system, but that is purely with his experience. And to be honest, with his experience, he could probably target more, but he doesn't, and I imagine he doesn't because psychologically he's executing flawlessly with a one-to-one, and he knows that, you know, yes, if he tried to go for more, he probably could make a bit more money, but he then also risks going on tilt and stuff, so it would be much better to just stick with a one-to-one, and yeah, whatever, who gives a fuck, right? It's one-to-one, right? But still, it's good, it really is good, but it's like a psychological thing. But like, if psychologically you can go for a 1 to 1.5 and still handle those drawdown and execute completely flawlessly, then yeah, sweet. But anyway, so actually, in this thing, I'm going to be showing you, and the reason why I'm doing it on futures charts is because if we just go to TT, I should have said, yeah, no. Yeah, like, look at that. It just doesn't make sense, that trade. So in this video, it's going to be going over this TTFM X Amastine. That's what I'm going to refer to it as now. I'm not going to refer to him as AMAS because it's very close to Hamas. So basically, what I've found with the YM, particularly because that's what I've been looking at it on, is that let me just see if I've got any drawings on here. No, I don't. What indicators do I have? And also, we have to get ready in 10 minutes. So for the part, because we also work a part-time job, which is seriously beneficial, but don't actually even need this indicator. To be honest, don't really like it anymore. Because you also sometimes have to keep fucking adjusting it, and it's just better to just have it off and just keep this one's clean. Anyway, yeah, I was referring to this other thing that I would definitely consider pushing forward with and being aware of is TTFM X, what I originally coined as AMAS, now Amastine. So we are using all TTFM, T timeframes approach, but when the market has set, we probably really then utilize 5M for Amastine's style entry, which is the 5M, or like a inversion basically. But like how he's doing it is he's utilizing like a 15 MPY in like his time period, which he just trades regular trading hours open till maybe about a couple of hours after that, and then looks at like scalps, base hits as he refers to them as. Me personally, I can't do that, but I can do this, and this is perfect because you're also establishing really clean. Okay, why is it doing that? What the hell? Oh, yeah, I've actually forgot where it is. We don't have time for this. Pre-post. Hidden. Oh god. I might have to deal with it. There should be like a... Why is it doing it? What? Oh, I sound like Tyler the other day of when he was like stuck with the chart should be this colour, right? Here. Wait, what? I don't. Why is it going green? Why is it going? Right, who gives a fuck? Whatever. So, if I just mark up strong closes, and we'll just have to be really quick with this. So here's one, and then I'll literally just go straight to a couple of examples because we'll have to get ready soon, like I said, which I don't mind. I genuinely don't mind whatsoever. It's good because I'll literally get a good little sum of money for doing bugger all. Well, not bugger all, but because obviously I'm doing something, but like it's a piece of piss in my opinion. And plus, from starting in trading, in finding out like making 3% on a 5k account and being over the moon with it, and realistically only getting about 80 quid, and then you have losing months, and then you just think, what the hell am I doing? You know, getting what I do at the supermarket that I work at, for what it is that I do, I'm not complaining because on a 50k that would even be a decent, in fact, a very good amount of money, which you are guaranteed, which is absolutely brilliant in my opinion. If you're in the early days anyway, as a trader, even if you start to make consistent profits, still keep it. You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, here this would be a good day, right? So now what we're doing is we're going to the 1 hour, and we'll just go straight to, we'll just do the first couple of days, and basically what you're doing is the same thing as usual for TTFM, is you are assessing the market as of the CISD, if there is one, into the open, and where would be most appropriate to see the market push to then look for it to set up appropriately at. I am going to be a bit rushed here, to be honest, but it's really simple criteria, to be honest. So, because I need to go, and because I need to get some stuff before I start. I need to get some water, some chewing gum, and just basic shit. So yeah. So yeah, you got CISD, this is fine, and then I'd want to see a push above here. Then you assess the market as of 7. With that, yeah, you'd still want to see the market push above. Then does it? No, so you're not doing shit this day. But like as well, like I would when I'm like I don't even. In fact, I think I was doing this on the Nasdaq actually. So this is interesting because I've never looked at the YM for this. But anyway, so you have the CISD. Personally, I'd want to see a push above here. Then you're assessing as of London. It would make more sense to have a nice push to about half of that wick. It doesn't. Well, no, 3/4. Sorry. So I want to find one example of where it's valid to drop down, to be honest. Okay, so you have the CISD into the open end of the market. Where would it make sense to see the market push to? You see, you don't want to be lenient and be like, yeah, well, you're bullish, just see the market pushing to there. It's like, nah, it needs to be appropriate and look nice, basically. Like, look, like, I don't know, it's kind of hard to explain, but you'd want to push below there. And what I've also noticed too is that the appropriate push to point out the new day, and then which is usually most of the time the same, as of London, I would probably say this low, but it's basically the same thing. What I've noticed is that it usually sets up in New York, right? And this would definitely be this is beautiful. You wouldn't want to push into here. Nah, it's not feasible. Even though you probably could get a win there, it's just not feasible. You would want to push here, then you get a nice bar close here, so you'd be dropping down as of 4 o'clock if you were trading this. And plus, I would need more data on this, right? But you're literally just doing one little thing different to what AMAS does, right? Sorry, AMAS, which is you're doing this criteria because you frame it like it's so high probable that you get like that this setup, right? So this is the day. I'm really sorry, we're gonna have to just leave it at this as the last example, because I literally need to get ready and just go. I don't want to be rushed, it's not nice. We've got 3 minutes in fact before we need to get ready anyway. So what, like TTFM wise, you'd be dropping down at 4, and then you would just look for the 5M CISD, which in this case I would say is here, and then you're looking to see, does it make sense to enter on the CIC itself, or would it make sense to look for an entry, like have a retrace and then enter it? And for me, it would. You'd want to enter here, just at this low, and then I would personally have my stop about here. No, not there. Oh, sorry. About. So you'd be entering here. You'd want it just about 3/4 of there. Maybe just a little bit higher than that, and then yeah, 1.5. I almost said 1.5. And then for your IFEG though, you would be looking at this, and then you just go for a 1-to-1. And also, what I did also just pick up upon just here was you could have like a target of where you then settle on, like, you know, of where you could look for trays up to, right? But I don't really know. You know, nah, I don't know about that actually. That's adding too much variables into a thing that works. Why change something? Why fix it if it's not broken? You know what I mean? Why look to fix what's not broken? It's retarded. It's pointless. But you know, like me, I'm just an open-minded guy. You know, look to. Wait, what? This song's back. Oh. I've noticed that these lo-fi things tend to repeat things. But anyway, yeah, so what I would do for entries with this is, I mean, that looks so slow, so I would probably look to the left, and I would probably just cover a bit below and then just go for the 1-to-1. And this is the first example that we came across that was a win, right? And that's the same with the NASDAQ. I think I'll probably just make time. Oh, this is going to be a bit pushed here. But it will just come out of here in the New York session, right? But I really kind of need. If there's no example in the next 4 days here, we're gonna have to just leave it. So if I just keep scrolling, I really doubt I wouldn't have scrolled to a random place. Right, we're gonna have to just leave it, is what it is. But yeah, I hope you kind of got somewhat of an insight into, you know, what I'm looking at implementing. Aside from that, there's one other thing which probably isn't even that good anyway, and it's probably not even necessarily going into when we've got what we do have going forward anyway. So yeah, not much more needs to be said.